It's now time for Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, live on the Woodward Sports Network. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m. Starring Ryan Ermanni, Michigan great and former NFL baller Braylon Edwards, and of course, Tom Mazaway. Let's talk some sports.
What is going on? Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, ladies and gentlemen, having a good time on a Thursday. Ryan Ermanni won't be with us today, but we have a great substitute in the form of Terry Foster, T. Foss, legend in the game, legend in the city, been doing this a long time. And the thing you love about him, he's not gonna tell you any line, he's gonna hold no punch. T. Foss, how you doing, man?
I'm doing better than Ryan.
This is true, but Maz called him on it yesterday. Look, Ryan's going out of town next week. We love you for it, but at the end of the day, you don't want to be sick out of town, man. So I have no problem with Ryan.
I think he's bullshitting a little bit. When you talk to him, he goes,
Fox,
how you doing? I'm really sick. Now, when you
got to do a couple on the side.
Yeah, when dudes really sound sick, they're not sick.
I'm going to give Ryan Ermanni some grace, man. He's been working hard at this, and also he had that trip, went out to San Francisco. Never really recovered from that trip. They had to void him out to D.C. He was in town 27 hours. He was up, went to D.C., flight got canceled, had to come back here late. So I'm going to give him some grace because he actually on Tuesday, am I right? He looked sick on Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
He came in, fought through the show, so you know Ryan has he has my praises.
Okay, well, he suckered all of you. I'm proud of him.
It's my guy though, man. I gotta take up for him. Tom Mazaway,
really
you get a chance
sick.
to be back in the Maz seat. How you feeling over there, brother?
Oh, you know I'm comfy here, man. It's all good. It's always good to have T. Foss. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
You and Abe Lincoln.
Oh,
yeah,
240 years old. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Talked
I'm
about
an old
that.
guy now, man.
You're 240?
Almost.
Okay.
No, all the young kids
Right.
around here call me Uncle T.
Uncle
But
T.
I think now they can call me
Grandfather.
Grandpappy.
Yeah, you pop.
I'm popping.
To my niece Rain, my father is Pop.
Yeah.
So I think every cycle they come up with some cool way to say uncle, grandfather. This is gonna be a fun show, Tom Mazaway. I saw you just look up and just did the same thing. Like we're operating blind, as they call it. But
I guess I'm on the top camera again, Pete.
yeah,
I thought the Maz cam was working a minute ago.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
We have also Dan Dickerson will be joining us. Tigers started yesterday. Casey Myers is excited about the season coming off Tommy John. It's going to be interesting to talk to him because T-Foss, I'm kind of excited about this season. I like Scott Harris in the front office, and I like where they ended last year. But the Tigers have a knack for doing that. They finish strong. And they get you excited, much like 2 years ago. They finished strong. Last year we were excited. And then injuries and everything displaced them. So I'm kind of excited. Am I right to be excited?
I suppose. But don't they always win like 2 of their first 20 games and put themselves in such a hole?
100%.
And then
Not in '84 they didn't.
Okay.
That's 30. That's
84,
40
that
years
was a
ago.
million
That's
years
the
ago.
40-year anniversary this year.
Okay, great.
Wow.
It's wonderful. No, I'm talking about today. I mean,
What have you done for me lately?
that's true.
Yeah.
They're going to get to a good start this year, I promise you.
How about a 500 start? I'd
Easy.
settle for that.
They're playing the White Sox and the A's to open up the season. They should get out in front pretty quick. Out of those 6 games, I'm looking at 4-2
But
to start the season.
Isn't Detroit sports, with the exception of the Lions now, and maybe even them too, we're known for saying they should. And then what follows they should is they don't. Like I think we're the city for that minus the Lions now.
Yeah, I keep hearing the Lions should have beaten San Francisco. People ignore that 27 to nothing run. People ignore, but it's always, if it wasn't for that bad 6 minutes here, if it wasn't for 8 turnovers, if it wasn't for this, the Lions would have won. So they should have won. No, they lost.
To your
and we
point,
did the same thing with the Tigers.
Okay, you don't got to be mean. Relax.
Hey, by the way, we can't get into that game. When we start talking about that game the day after, Maz, it was a sensitive subject. Subject. But to your point, before we let it go, you're absolutely right because 49ers played terrible the first 2.5 quarters. And then they figured out, so you're absolutely correct about that. But excited about the Tigers. Maz, what's going on in your life, man? Let's before we get into what happened last night with Beef Stew, we will talk about that. At least he connected this time. We'll get into that. But man, it's like, what's up right now? You said Valentine's Day is over with.
Yeah.
There's a birthday coming up for you in 3 days.
And you.
Me.
3 February boys right here.
100%,
right.
man.
On the panel. Hey, last
Are y'all
night was fun.
Aquarius? You're an Aquarius?
I'm on the cusp. I'm
He's on the
Aquarius
cusp,
Pisces. 18.
And I'm Pisces. 21st.
Okay.
You're a full-fledged Aquarian. He's a
Full-fledged.
Pisces, and I'm both.
But I'm close too. I'm 21st, so that cutoff day is your birthday, actually.
Yep,
the 18th.
That's why they call it the cusp.
So what's
Last night was
that a
fun.
joke?
Nice Valentine's Day, but it was Ash Wednesday, which is a rare thing. So us Catholics, you're supposed to fast on Ash Wednesday, or if you eat one meal, or it has to be fish, can't be meat. And you go to church, you get your ashes, you do your praying, you get your communion. And that's
how
what we
long
did.
do you keep that ash on your forehead?
Till it fades, right?
Till today when I showered.
Okay.
Well, that's before the fade.
Stayed on there.
I think I've had Ash Wednesday because I went to UAD, I went to Jesu, and I went to Bishop Gallagher. When they put it on,
Some are thicker than others.
I was right to the bathroom. Like I was right to the bathroom.
So you take it right off.
Yeah, because I feel like I got the blessing. Like I have it on me already. I feel like if I wash it off, like the blessing's still there. It doesn't you wash it off the next day. I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, back in the day, they just put a dot on your forehead. Now
It's still
I see
there.
What they, yeah. No, but
No,
now
they do
I
the
see
sign of the cross.
They do the cross.
Yeah.
Crosses now.
Okay, yeah.
They just do a quickie.
It was a
like
dot
like
back in
that.
the day?
Nice and
It
light.
was just a little dot, right?
Some
And
a
now-
little darker than others.
Now
but
they put a
that's
cross
it.
on.
That's what us Catholics do.
I remember going
makes
home.
us feel good, I guess.
I remember going
you know
home in
what?
6th grade.
Speaking of you guys' services crack me up.
You don't like our 45, 50-minute services?
I love
No,
it.
I love that.
That's the best thing
I
ever.
love that. But
Last
you
night,
guys
45
stand up
minutes.
and sit down
in and
so,
out.
so often.
I know, the standing up, sitting down, I never really got. Oh, yeah, and the kneeling.
You got to kneel.
Yeah, like
And the kneeling.
I've had 5 knee surgeries. Like I'm out on the Catholic Church at that point.
Now, T-Foss, you guys go long, don't you?
That's because we
Yeah.
sing everything. Like everything has a song. It's devotional.
Pause, I
It's
mean.
worship.
No,
it's
no,
prayer.
no. Seriously, between white church and black church, I'd much rather go to white church. Y'all, it's like 42 minutes and they gone.
But it's like no soul there though. Like I'm like,
No,
did Jesus really live here?
No, they do little chants.
The soul's not in it though. You
I know
need black
there's no
church.
soul, but you out in 45 minutes.
Not all the time, Terry.
I went to.
There are some that go a little over an hour.
Those
hour.
are like particular services.
Those priests like to talk more.
That's like a Christmas service and Easter. Excuse me. See, that's another difference. Service and mass. That's an Easter mass. It's a Christmas mass. Those are, I think, longer. Regular mass is like you in and out, man. You're gonna have the choir. What is it, the altar boys?
Yeah.
They'll come up and read the 2 passages. Priest gonna do his thing. 1 song off the organ. Next thing I know, man, I'm in the car.
Right. Now, I went to Allen Temple AME Church. The short service was 2 hours. The short one.
Word of faith.
Oh, it's a temple?
I went to Word of
huh?
Faith. So
It's a temple?
That's
Temple
what
is
they
the
call
Jewish
it.
faith.
AME.
yeah.
It was called Allen Temple.
Methodist
Like it
now.
was.
Okay.
Allen Temple is a dude.
Okay. Oh,
So,
okay.
Right.
I got you.
But if you walked in there and you saw drums, you were
That
in
was
trouble.
it.
That was a 3-hour service.
That's easy. Yeah, that's. I agree with you 100% there, 'cause that's another thing that they do with the service versus the mass. I think that's how we say it: service versus the mass. But we're talking about black church versus Catholic church. Is the choir director does his own thing. The drummer has the right to say, you know what, I'm feeling the song. I'm gonna drum a little longer. Like the guitarist, if you will, the choir, if you will. When you're at Catholic mass, like, look, there's a song. It starts at this time. And it ends at this time. Right. Unlike Reba McEntire at the Super Bowl.
She said the Brave a few times.
She did, and she messed up the over.
She did. They paid everybody.
True that.
No,
true
white
that.
church, they got to do it with a stopwatch. Like, okay, you done. Bang.
He's like,
Not true, Terry.
he gets the old school, like
Not
silver
true.
clicker.
Now, Easter Mass, Easter Vigil Mass,
Right.
Palm Sunday, Christmas Eve, Christmas, what do you call it? The Midnight Mass. Those are longer. Those are long.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Easter especially,
I'm gonna tell you like
because
this.
they go through the whole
Story that we all know.
story. Yes.
Yeah, story that we've heard for a long time. Midnight Mass going long is crazy.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, I have volunteered myself to come to Mass at midnight. And then you have the audacity to not let me out at 2:15. I would have a problem.
Santa was come and gone by
I
then.
would write a letter like white chicks. I'm writing a letter.
No, but you can't have midnight mass in the black church because you be getting out before breakfast, maybe.
No, you got midnight mass in the black church. You're going to be smelling some Hennessy.
Yeah.
Midnight on Christmas? Man, shoot.
Adam Morency just wrote me in the chat. He's like, Maz, are the phone lines open? You're talking to a music director for a Catholic church here. So expect Adam Morency to call in on the hotline here to tell us about the Mass his way.
Good old Adam Morrissey, a friend and family member of the show. I haven't seen him in a long time. He used to get his hair cut. I would see him every once in a while, but haven't seen him.
Now, here's something I don't know. I need some help from Maz.
Okay.
In the white church, do you ever get sisters who catch the spirit during the show?
Ooh.
No. We have nobody falling down.
You got
nobody fainting.
Now, we used to call it the spirit. You call it the Holy Ghost?
Well, technically it's the spirit, but the Holy Ghost, same concept.
The first time when I was a kid, a woman caught the spirit of the Holy Ghost. She's screaming down the aisle, saying, "Oh my God, Lord Jesus Christ," and just over and over and over again. She fainted in the aisle.
Not to faint.
And I was petrified. I said, "Grandma, what's going on?" She said, "Oh, she just got the spirit, honey.
Good.
It's good.
She's good.
She'll be okay in a few minutes."
Yeah. That happened to Elvis. I watched the Elvis movie. He got the spirit.
So it does. White people do get the spirit.
Elvis got the spirit.
Elvis got the spirit to hire somebody to do his songs and then do them better. That's the spirit that he got. That joker could sing and dance though. But
are you putting down Elvis?
First of all, I love Elvis, so don't do that.
Okay.
But I'm also telling you where he got all his moves and the songs from, and he's admitted that. And look, he was smart. His people said, "Look, we're gonna take that and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna get paid." So I'm not dissing Elvis; he's a king.
All right.
I mess with Elvis. Come on, I will tolerate no Elvis hate.
I thought Little Richard was the king.
Little Richard, he found Little Richard.
Yeah, I don't know so much about that. Little Richard a little older than you think. Like Little Richard is a little bit older than you think. He just wore that makeup and mascara. You know, he preserved himself, if you will. Right. Something I guess we'll get into now, switching it up, going to the fight. Maz, I'll let you lead on this one because obviously you know more about it than we do. Yeah. Beef stew, pregame, gets into a fight. And like I said earlier, like tease, at least this time he connected. Remember the whole LeBron fiasco? He was running around. I never, to this day, I still don't understand what happened in this one. But Maz, what happened last night?
He had a pregame brawl with one of the Phoenix Suns as he was walking in to the tunnel. And there it is. It is Isaiah Stewart against Drew Eubanks in the back tunnel of the Suns arena.
Ooh, back tunnel.
Right away, they don't know what happened. Supposedly, Drew says he sucker punched me. We had some words. He sucker punched me. The Phoenix Suns backed him right away. The NBA is going to get footage of this, and they're going to rule. But after the game, he was officially arrested, and he was cited with a violation. They let him go, obviously. And now it's up to the Pistons and the NBA, Adam Silver, to see what they're going to do with Isaiah Beef Stewart. The way Drew said, he said, look at this guy's history. This guy's got a history of being mad, being agitated, and he sucker punched me. We don't know what happened and what was said. Then the Pistons went out. They were down 30 in the first half. They lost by 16 going away to the Phoenix Suns. So right now at the break, they are 8 and 46 at the All-Star break. They'll play next Thursday.
Look, we got to stop this narrative that you know his history, you know what he's capable of.
Well, that's what the kid Drew said.
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah. We have to stop doing that. We have to stop letting that be happening. Look, athletes are passionate. It doesn't matter what color you are. Athletes are passionate. You get passionate about something. You get passionate if you're talking some stuff. If he said something and you were talking some stuff, you can get mad. You can get upset. You have every right. We got to stop saying, oh, you know his history and blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, but who gets into a fight before the game?
But here's the thing. What was said, and also, Terry, we're old school. Like, we're old school. Maz, you're old school too. Like, if there's some jaw jacking, that lets you know we're old school. If there's some talking back and forth, some jaw jacking is going on, there's no such thing as a sucker punch. Like, once words are exchanged that don't feel like they're conversational words, they feel like they're words of engagement or words in intensity, you should be ready. Like Floyd said, always be ready. So when I hear sucker punch, I'm like, if we had some words and
or no, there could be a sucker punch. Maybe you're saying, you know what? I'm going to be the adult here and walk away. So when you walk away, you figure, okay, we done. So then maybe that's when Beef Stew popped it.
And look, everybody needs to stop being so nice then. Like, everybody needs to stop expecting that people don't fight Everybody needs to stop being so nice and saying, oh, well, I'll just walk away. Because who else backed off the situation? Jordan Poole. We saw that video, and yes, Draymond was the aggressor. Draymond incited it. Draymond got him going. But I knew that was a fight from jump. Like, and I don't know if Jordan Poole grew up in this new millennial era. I knew from jump that was a fight. He's the only one in that gym that day that was like, oh, I'm cool. This isn't a fight. Yes, the heck it was. And sometimes that's the thing. You got to be ready for it.
Or maybe he thought, oh, this is my teammate. Right. We're boys. I know he ain't going to hit me.
Right.
Nah, because you pushed him. Because if you didn't think he was going, Jordan pushed him first.
Yeah, but Poole really was not ready.
Listen, Maz, I agree with that. You 100%. Jordan Poole should not have been fighting because he was fighting a gorilla, and he's a baby chimpanzee. Like, I agree with you. And Draymond incited. Draymond got in his face enough to make him push him. But once you put your hands on somebody, whether he put your hand on you first, you know you're in an altercation. Like, I've never pushed somebody and then like turned my back and like walked around. I knew what was coming next.
They're calling Isaiah Stewart Draymond Green without the rings.
Now, it's got to be something wrong.
Draymond no ring. Like, now I hate using that. I hate saying that because Draymond's going through a whole ordeal right now where he talked about Kevin Durant, talked about Nurkic for them calling him out. And I understand what Draymond said, and I agree with Draymond for Kevin Durant saying let him get the help that he needs. But with Beef Stew, I was behooved at the situation that happened with the Lakers and LeBron. So, like, I hate saying it, but it might be something there. Like, because I was like, I still don't know what happened with LeBron and Beef Stew, and he ran all up and down the court.
Who would have won that fight, by the way?
Beef Stew.
You think?
What? I know. Like, LeBron ain't never had a fight in his life.
First of all, he's a monster.
It doesn't matter what you are, it's where you come from. LeBron James is, you know how it is in the hood. Like, you got the kid, like, in the hood, man, you know this from Jersey. You got the kids that are going to do great things or have the potential, so everybody in the hood protects them, whether it's the mob or the mafia in Jersey or whether it's the cats in Detroit. You protect that guy, or in his case, Akron. You protect that guy. You don't let him fight. Like, you keep him out of all the trouble. People know, hey, not him, not that guy. So you never have a fight. If you never fight, man, I don't care how big you are. Like, you don't know how to fight. You don't know what a fight recalls. Beef Stew, he's definitely gotten into some fights in his life. I'm taking Beef Stew. What does Ryan say? If I had $1 million, I bet $2 million.
Right.
Well, because here's the other thing: if LeBron
had
James,
$10 million, I bet 20.
If LeBron James gets into, somebody wants to attack him, really,
no one will be able to get to him.
Adam Silver will run out on the court to break.
He wasn't even at the game, and he'd be on the G5. Like, hey, no.
The coaches. We got to bring this up to Terry. We didn't tell you, Terry. You missed this yesterday. Did you know that the Golden State Warriors reached out to the Lakers to ask to trade LeBron James to Golden State so he could play with Steph Curry, and the Lakers shut it down right away?
Yeah, I heard that. But you know what?
So,
what do you think of that trade?
No, go ahead, Terry.
Maybe the Lakers should have kept that open.
Yeah,
because they're not going to win anything.
No, I don't think
they're
they
a 500 team, and
both teams are 500
right.
teams.
And Golden State's not going anywhere unless they can get someone like LeBron. Correct. So at least add some intrigue to the NBA.
That would have been so fun. It would have been the only time, I told Braylon this yesterday, that I would have rooted for LeBron James, because I'm a Steph Curry crazy fan. He's my favorite of all time.
So, Maz,
even beating Walt Frazier out.
So, Maz, that deal still may be on the table. It may not be this year, but it's coming up. You got to look at Steph's in year 16, LeBron's in year 21. LeBron's obviously still trying to play till Bronny gets in the league. And as you've seen last night, hell of a game last night, by the way, the Warriors and the Clippers. How they let them come back, it gets on my nerves.
Who won that game?
Clippers won. Clippers came back. But Steph Curry does everything, man. I love that that's your guy, because he definitely deserves it.
I absolutely love him.
But just looking at the deal, so I watched Stephen A. Smith last night. He interviewed Rich Paul, Clutch Sports, who's LeBron's agent. He represents half the league at this point.
Thanks to LeBron.
I mean, hey, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at him
Rich
at all.
Did all right being friends with that guy.
That's a power move, 100%. But what he said it wasn't the Lakers that nixed the deal or 86 the deal. It was LeBron. Now, obviously, coming from his agent, he'll say that. But he said LeBron wasn't. He was like, no, I'm good. Like, with that being said, let's say LeBron said that. Who should, like, let's say the deal was on the table. Who should go where? Like, because LeBron obviously is, whether, I mean, he's not my number one of all time. I mean, hell, he's probably after He's probably under my 5, but I don't feel like doing that right now. I don't feel like dealing with these millennials. Yeah, because that always opens up the conversation. He might be, somewhere between 6 and 10.
If the Lakers and Warriors merged, they would win a championship.
Agreed, but what I'm saying is, who should have to go where? Like LeBron James is arguably him and Steph.
This is easy, Bray.
It's Steph's team, and he has 4 rings there. Yeah. But LeBron has 4 rings. He's LeBron. He's the scoring champ. He is the league. Like, LeBron will be the league like Jordan. Even when he leaves, he'll still be the guy. Like, just like Jordan did. So I give him that credit. Should Steph have to go to L.A. because of the Brent? But it's the Lakers.
It don't matter.
The Lakers are the second most wealthy organization, only behind the Yankees.
They're up there.
Yeah, if I'm LeBron James
or Cowboys,
the only way you can get me away from the Lakers is to be at gunpoint. Because, like you said, the Lakers are an iconic.
They won one championship, and it was at COVID.
It doesn't matter.
No one even watched it.
It doesn't matter. Like, you want to be a part of the Dallas Cowboys, and they haven't won anything because you're going to get paid more. There's certain franchises that are just different than everybody else. The Yankees, no matter how bad they are different. The Lakers are just different. Right. The Celtics are just different.
Giants.
This is what the Giants do. The Giants always figure it out at the right time. Like, when it's just been like long enough, like they do something. Like, remember, it's just been long enough. They got rid of the quarterback, and last year they made the playoffs.
Yeah.
I think they got to win.
That was 2 years ago. They had to beat the Vikings.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Last year.
What I'm saying is, if you're LeBron, why do you want to stay on a team? It's a dead end. You're not winning. Go to Golden State. Go to Golden State and win.
Maz, he's partnered with Fox. He's partnered with Sony. He lives there. He's built this mega mansion.
Right. But he's in 23?
21.
Okay, he's had enough. Go win a championship.
Apparently he has it because he's averaging 24 a game and 7 and 7.
It's because there's no one else on the team except him and AD.
And AD's played better, but to your point, they got Austin Reeves, but they're
garbage.
I didn't like the Austin. When everybody was high on Austin Reeves last year, it was, oh man, it's Austin Reeves guy. He's this, he's that. He's a perfect player for them. You see, I'm like, I don't see it. And now apparently the Lakers don't see it either after they paid him to.
Out of those two teams, the Warriors are the only one that have a chance to win an NBA championship. It's only because of Steph Curry.
But what are they going to give away to get LeBron? Like,
give everything away because this is your last chance.
So now you don't have a chance to win anything. If you give it all away, it's going to be Steph and LeBron and who? Because you got to give Clay away. Unless you keep Clay, I would rather get rid of Clay the way he's been playing over the past year and a half, 2 years. Then you got Wiggins. You're gonna use Wiggins as a piece.
That's too late now anyway because they ain't gonna do it. Trade deadline's over.
Trade
deadline's over.
Trade deadline's over, but free agency is open, and in that free agency market, the Detroit Lions are talking about extending their current All-Pro wide receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown to the tune of 3 years, $75 million, $25 a year. T-Falls, first thoughts on this potential?
Bless you, my friend.
Man, potential contract for Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
I'd pay him whatever.
Yeah.
This guy is so important to the Lions' success. I mean, the one thing when you think about
important how? Explain that. Like, how is he important?
He extends drives.
Okay.
He keeps the offense moving.
Leadership.
The leadership thing. And plus, he's got that mentality that Dan Campbell is really trying to preach. Amon-Ra St. Brown thinks he can do anything.
So far, he's
and he doesn't. I mean, 3rd and 8. I'm not passing the ball to anybody else but St. Brown. And everybody's, they know he's getting the ball, and that's correct. But guess what? He still catches it some way, somehow. So $25 million, I'm not flinching. I'll pay him. I'll pay him even more than that.
Maz, I know that's one of your guys too.
You know it.
Yeah. Tell me what do you think about the contract right now? Because in my estimation, I believe it's a smart contract.
It is. $25 million is cheap.
Because it's
for this guy.
Also, too, it's like, hey, look, you just finished this is his 3rd year. You just finished your 3rd year. Look, we'll pay you now. We'll give you 30. We'll give you 25, which is favorable too to the level that he's playing at. 25 is fair for 75. It also allows them, and this is what you see from the championship teams, Maz. I'll let you chime in. Is signing deals that allow them to have wiggle room from other players you need. You see the Chiefs. You saw the Patriots at times. You see whoever else has done it. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to buy in because of the culture they created here.
I totally agree. And not only that, you're getting Justin Jefferson, who wants to break the bank. He wants 30 or plus or more than that. if you give Amon-Ra St. Brown 25, that's $75 million on top of what his rookie deal was. That goes down the line because Jared Goff will probably be up next. And maybe Goff, instead of taking $50 million, which is the going rate for a playoff winning quarterback, maybe he'll take $42 million, $43 million. Maybe he will to save some money for that offensive line.
Or maybe he won't.
Maybe he won't. Maybe he won't. I think he will, though, Terry. I do.
I thought, we first started talking about Jared Goff, I thought $47.5 million. That might be just a little bit shy. I think he's going to get $50 million.
Well, you got to save some money to pay Penei Sewell and Decker and Jonah Jackson's a free agent. If you don't sign him, there's another offensive lineman out there in the free agent pool. You got to take care of him. Frank Ragnow is playing on one leg. You don't know how long he's going to last, and you got to pay Taylor Decker again if you want to keep him.
This is true, but this quarterback market is just a different quarterback market. Like you're looking at what Jared Goff did. Shoot, Daniel Jones got paid $42 million, and he won one playoff game, and we knew that he was an average quarterback. Maybe that's giving him too much credit. Jared Goff won 2 playoff games this year alone. He won 2. He works perfect with the system. It's also just about the market. $50 million is the going rate. When you look at where Jared Goff finishes in categories, he's top 5 statistically in the last 2 years in every category almost. So, he, for lack of a better word, he's earned it.
Yeah, he has. And here's the other thing that's crucial. If Jared Goff gets his $50 million a year after next year, he'll be the 6th highest paid quarterback in the league. When Matthew Stafford got his extension, he was number 1.
Yep.
So now you're starting at a position where he's number 6, and it'll only go down. And by the time that contract is done, he'll probably be 10, 11, or something like that.
But still, it's good money.
Right. And plus the cap is going up.
Right. It's still good money, and I believe he'll take a quote-unquote hometown discount to stay here. He's having the time of his life here. He's got a team on the cusp of winning a Super Bowl.
But nobody takes the hometown discount. They always talk about it, and players don't do it.
T, I agree with you, but just like we've talked about, this isn't the same Detroit Lions. And I think the Lions are kind of unique, kind of like Michigan is. I don't always bring things back to Michigan.
Oh, God.
No. Hear me out. The major schools around the country in NIL, like they're paying whatever they got to pay. They're playing this, they're paying that. Hell, Ohio State has spent $13 million, and it's just February already in terms of guys they're bringing in. Michigan with Jim Harbaugh, he was able to recruit, got 3 stars, guys that were still buying into the wing helmet, that were still buying into those who stay. Michigan got lucky because of the tradition. I think with the Lions, all these guys started together, like Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, the pick that they've had, whether it's Penei Sewell, bringing Jared Goff in, drafting Amon-Ra in the 4th, 5th round. Like, these guys are different. They feel a part of what it is. Amon-Ra, in my I guess estimation, I think he would accept that deal. And it's an early deal, probably a backloader where he can get out a little earlier. Justin Jefferson, that team's not built like that in Minnesota. They weren't built together. It's already been 3 GMs since he's been there. It's been 2 different head coaches. Like, he's the focal point of that team. He and Kirk Cousins, they got rid of Dalvin Cook. So, yeah, he's going to ask for the most because it's not a family environment where they all have come up together from losers to winners. So I think you could get 25 for Amon-Ra and he'd take it. Meanwhile, Justin's looking for 35.
Right. And but as far as Jared Goff is concerned, isn't he under pressure from the union?
Right.
That you can't take a low salary, particularly after what he did. He's gonna get his money.
Newsflash: the NFL union is the worst. Like, break it to you. NFLPA, NFL union, it's the worst of the 4 majors. I was in it. It's not about what should be done for those guys. Everybody does what they typically want to do. Everybody from the top and the bottom is just falling along. They have no say. So I think in this, you can do what you want to do. Like, nobody's looking to see what this guy, telling him you should take this because you're worth this. It's not like that in NFL. MLB, you best believe you're getting all your bread in MLB.
Hey, Terry, we talked about this yesterday, but I'll get your opinion on it. Lions have 4 picks in the top 93. What would be – they picked 29th. So we don't know how the draft's going to unfold. But if you were Brad Holmes, what position is your number 1 focal point? Top 2 positions.
Okay. My number 1, defensive tackle.
Would you do trade? Would you do free agent? Or are you drafting?
I thought we were talking about the draft.
I know, but I'm going to give you that choice because you got to do something.
The draft, I would do defensive tackle or offensive lineman. But it all depends on what's going to happen in free agency.
Right.
And also, Frank Ragnow. It seems like everybody's coming back, but you have to have that depth. So I'm going in the trenches. And then my number 3, corner.
Yeah.
I just think that if you have pressure up front and you got quality guys up front, that secondary is going to look a lot better than it actually is.
Sure.
So I would go corner 3.
Okay.
So my top priority, though, tackle, defensive, offensive lineman, and then cornerback.
Sounds good to me.
All right, let's take a break. Let's get some WSN merch in here, and then when we come back, we can continue this conversation because we'll talk about what picks the Lions actually do have, and we can start talking about what players will potentially be on the board for those picks. First, let's get a message from WSN merch.
That's correct, gentlemen. Are you tired of wearing the same old Detroit sports merch? A new era is here in Detroit sports wearables. New designs, amazing apparel, and the ultimate swag. Check out Woodward Sports' latest gear at woodwardsports.com and click shop. Hoodies, tees, the hats are guaranteed to turn heads. Get the latest designs today at woodwardsports.com. Click that shop button, baby.
And
have you ever
while you're
wondered
at it, go over.
Sorry, brother. Go ahead.
You're good. Oh, my bad, Pete. I didn't know you stopped there. But hey,
Holy moly.
Once you're done getting some merch, head over to Fairway Packing, because for over 60 years, Fairway Packing Co. has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit their steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab and go steaks, or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort Dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The Down Home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of Down Home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Hey guys, it's Maz for Big Boy. You know, wintertime, it's closing up here, but wintertime's always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. You want to start off with a great breakfast, the stuffed potato pancakes, the omelets, the lumberjack, and Santa Fe omelets. You can't pass them by. And those hot apple pie, hot cakes. Got to get them while they are still there. And for lunch and dinner, the veal parmesan, outstanding. So is the Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl. Grab yourself a Big Boy while you're there. And, of course, save room for desserts, all those pies, and the best shakes in town. All right, your local Big Boy.
Welcome back to Ermanni Networks with Maz. Ryan Ermanni won't be joining us, but we are joined by Terry Foster. Always a pleasure to have him in here. And before we went to break, we were just talking about the Lions and what they could potentially do this year in the draft. They have 4 picks inside the top 93. They have 7 total. They picked 29, 61, 60, 73, 92, 162, 206, and 246. So basically looking at it, they have an end, a middle, and an end in their first 4 picks, which are all inside the top 3 rounds. You hit the nail on the head. I believe they need a D tackle. You need somebody in the middle. You need somebody to take on 2 defenders so that you can help the rushing game. You stop the rushing game, you make them pass more, then Aiden is allowed to get involved. But I think you need another guy on the outside too. Definitely need a DB. T, we talked yesterday, and I think you're pretty much going to have to draft and pay a DB. I feel like you draft a DB maybe with the second round pick. I think it's pick 61, see if you can find somebody. I think you pick up one of these DBs that are out here. I don't know if Jalen Johnson from the Bears will allow it to come to somebody in his division. And then Jarius Sneed, if you will, saw what he did in the Super Bowl with Debo and Brandon Ayuk. I think you got to get 2 of those guys because I think that will help the defensive line, and I agree with that, defensive tackle. But if you get some DBs, you can get some coverage sacks. It makes it easier and a shorter amount of time for Aiden to get from point A to point B. Right now, look, Aiden has some great hustle at times, but there's nobody on the other side to help him out, and there's no DBs either.
Isn't it time to pay somebody?
Yeah, I agree. Agreed.
We've always heard from the line, the timing is not right. We're not quite there and everything. Didn't you just prove that you're right there?
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Right. But the only thing that scares me about paying somebody big money is a lot of times, I'm not going to say most of it, but a lot of times when you pay a big name, big money, you're paying it for what they used to be able to do. And then
is this the Miguel Cabrera deal?
Yeah, the Miggy deal.
Everybody talks about that, yeah.
I mean, for instance, Chase Young had a nice Super Bowl, but I talked to a guy from San Francisco.
He's a culture problem.
Yeah. Well, I talked to a guy who was a Niners fan because I went out there to visit my daughter.
Well, how's she doing? She's at Stanford, right?
No, she is
graduated
2 years out of Stanford.
Oh, that's right. You graduated. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
She's in the
went to Stanford
movie industry now. She's trying to get into
Speaking of movies, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, but he described Chase Young as garbage. And I'm like, well, I don't know if he was garbage. He said, well, he was garbage here. And that was the guy that everybody wanted to bring here to help fortify that defensive line. I wouldn't have been opposed to it either, but, how much do you have to pay him? But the Lions are in that position where we're not quite there yet. But now I think it's time to break the bank for somebody.
Yeah, I think, and I think it is about the right person. I think Brad Holmes alluded to that last year, and this is something we talked about too, T, is Brad Holmes went after Brian Burns from the Carolina Panthers, defensive lineman for the Carolina Panthers, went after him last year. Carolina said, no, thank you. Now he's an unrestricted free agent. So I think Brad Holmes can go back at that, and we'll see how that happens.
Chris Jones said he's sticking around in Kansas City.
Duh, we knew that.
I know, but that deal ain't happening for a long, long time if it does happen.
Okay, we just talked about taking the cut. Travis Kelce's taking the cut. Yeah. Look at Travis Kelce's brand since taking the cut. As opposed to saying, you know what, I'm the best tight end ever, or at the time, I'm potentially, could be the best tight end ever. I deserve to get paid. Instead.
Yeah, but, bad example. He's got Taylor Swift money now.
But you
don't care about that.
Oh, they got separate money. That's separate money.
But you're missing what I'm saying, though.
I know, but they still
his extension happened 2 years ago. His extension before Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, as opposed to say what he could have said, and we all would have supported him. I'm the best tight end in the league, arguably the best of all time. You see what I've done? Check my resume. Pay me. Instead, he said, Patrick Mahomes, there's nobody like him, and maybe never will be again. There's also a lot of commercials. There's a lot of other things that come when you're identified with a championship franchise.
State Farm's paying him a lot.
Oh, my God. State Farm, Subway, the list goes on.
Pfizer.
Taylor Swift, Pfizer. So you're like, I'm going to take a pay cut. Look, I give this example all the time. I saw him at the national championship, my former quarterback, Chad Henne. Love Chad. Shout out to Chad. Good to see you at the national championship. And meet your family. He's got kids. It's so crazy. I remember he was 17 years old. But anyway, he got on a Subway commercial because he was with the Chiefs. He was a backup quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes put him on. So if I'm Chris Jones, I'm staying too. There's a difference in money now. I think when we were, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe even 7 years ago, you got to get all that you can get. But now there's so much money in sports, so much money in NFL, and there's so much money off the field. It's so much easy influencer money. I think it's kind of like when Tom, in year 14, 15, he takes a cut. You're like, Tom, you can take a cut because you got everything else going on. Well, I think now players have all that going on. They have, it's the influencership, if you will.
No, I agree with that. That's why early when I talk about there's franchises were just different than everyone else, and I brought up the Dallas Cowboys, and I know Tom would say this, well, they haven't won a championship in a million years. But you do know that if you play for the Cowboys, you get
life.
extra money.
I didn't say that, by the way.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't.
All right.
Is that how you say?
What did you say then?
I didn't say anything about them. I think the Cowboys are a great brand. The Yankees, like you said, great brand. Lakers, great brand. I get it.
Wow, I must be hearing things.
No, you're hearing right. You're hearing right. I was a Cowboys guy. I loved a lot of these. Roger Staubach, Drew Pearson, the triplets, Troy Aikman. Come on, man. I can name them all. That's a great brand, but they have not won or done anything in over 2 decades.
Well, that's what you said.
Okay, fine.
And that's what you said. You admit you said it. Now you told me I didn't. You didn't say it. Now you telling me you did say it.
At what age? At what age does this happen? Because both of you guys are over 60. So what age does this happen?
About this age.
60, yeah.
About 60?
Age. Yeah.
About 60 this happens. 70 days. Yeah, I think it is 70 days.
Yeah, I'm counting it down.
The NFL draft comes to the little old city of Detroit. I'm lying.
And I'm pissed about that, but go ahead.
No. Start. You go. Why are you upset that the draft is coming?
I'm upset because I've been looking forward to this forever. Do you know what Michigan State's graduation is?
Same day.
Yep, same weekend. So I can go Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, I'm done, man.
But Thursday's the night that really matters, and also you get a chance to partake in some events. Like,
no, but you get to party Friday and Saturday. I'm gonna miss all that, man.
But doing what?
You go to Little B's graduation, then get back.
That's what I'm saying. There's a graduation.
No, you can't, because he's an alpha. They got some events he's got to go to. You just can't go to the graduation and leave.
What, did he graduate in 3 years? I thought the kid just started.
No, it's been 4.
Really?
He was there for the COVID year.
He said a full 4.
Yeah.
That's what I took from that comment. Yeah, it's been 4 years, all right.
Yeah.
Congratulations, by the way.
T, so now that we're taking out of the graduation, shout out, congratulations. What do you think about the draft in Detroit? You know, there's been some talk. We talked to the commissioner, the gaming commissioner, Maz. We talked to him, the event, if you will. It's a friend of the show. Yeah. But also
Dave Beecham,
excuse me. What's up, Dave? It's one of those things with Detroit where, are you excited for having the draft, but is it also potentially knowing you're not getting a Super Bowl ever again?
I'm thrilled.
Okay.
I'm thrilled about that because, I love big events in Detroit because I want to participate. And,
as a Detroiter.
As a Detroiter, right. I want to go there, hang out, do whatever, shake hands with the commissioner. Maybe I'll walk on stage and say I'm the 27th pick of whomever.
Maybe you'll give one of those picks away.
Yeah, but it's a great time. It's good for the city and stuff. And so I'm absolutely wish I could participate all 3 days. But I'm going to hang out Thursday, do my thing, and then go to Michigan State, watch my son graduate and all that stuff.
Yeah, my sister graduated from Michigan State last year. What's up, Brooklyn? Congrats again.
We'd be remiss if we didn't bring up yesterday.
Man, I'll let you take the reins on that. Go ahead.
What happened yesterday at the parade in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And it turns out it was not like a terrorist attack. There was a bunch of kids,
some idiots,
young men. I guess they had an argument, and shots were fired. Well, one of them brought a military gun, like I think an AK, whatever. I'm not a gun guy.
The AR-15 is the one.
Yeah,
man. Not to cut you off. You don't bring an AR-15 if you're not ready to do something. That's a big gun.
I know.
Yeah.
So what? Listen, man. Young lady lost her life, a mother of 2, a prominent DJ in the city of Kansas City. She leaves 2 kids behind, a husband behind. I think 10 kids were injured. They can all make it. They can be good, but I think 21 people were shot or injured, getting stomped on. But a lot of people stood up. A lot of Kansas City Chief players stood there and helped people. One of them, believe it or not, was Travis Kelce, and really
he was drunk too.
Jackson Mahomes is being lauded as
savior,
as a savior. There, he took a couple of kids that lost their parents in that disaster, and he held on to them. He took care of them. He nurtured them until the parents were found. Everyone stood up. But what I'm bringing it up for is, obviously, this is an epidemic in our country. What are you going to do now for a parade? Do you have to have a parade now in the stadium?
Yep.
Because when the Giants won the Super Bowl in 86, 87, their parade, we had it at Giant Stadium. They had the Giant Stadium celebration. They didn't even do the damn New York City march. Yesterday, really, I couldn't get enough of it. I couldn't watch it. I mean, I just read stuff. I could not watch what was happening. And a lot of the Kansas City fans that were there, a couple of them tackled a couple of the shooters. They actually helped the police and the military there. It's just a horrible thing that happens. And
bro, you're not asking the right question.
Go ahead, Terry.
What the hell is wrong with us?
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the United States of America. You can't have parade. This is like the third parade where there's been a shooting.
Yeah. It happened in Chicago.
And I don't think the whole story
Charlotte.
is out.
Yep.
If somebody brought an AR-14,
They came for business.
They came to hurt mass people. They came to hurt more
Agreed.
people than the ones that they knew.
Agreed.
Because usually when the argument,
little pistol.
yeah, it's a 22,
22,
45, 38,
yeah.
whatever. AR, you meant.
Why do we know all the guns?
You meant to do something. You meant to do harm. You meant to make a statement. So I'm not sure if the whole story is out.
Good
but
point.
we'll see.
It isn't.
Yeah, 100%.
It isn't.
It's
But you
ridiculous.
saw.
Well, when the Lions win the Super Bowl next year, are we going to have a parade down Woodward?
Yeah, hell yeah, we are. Like and there's a precursor to that. Maz, you talked about it. Tell T-Foss, who also knows about it, how much love was in the city of Detroit when they won the Rams game, then they followed up by winning the Bucks game. The energy was great, and there was a lot of
Not a fight,
a lot of congruency. Correct.
Nobody pushing each other. Nobody,
Right.
and cars weren't moving. Cars couldn't move because we took over the whole streets. And I walked back to my car from the stadium, and I was at CompuWare. And pretty good walk, especially when half the time I take the wrong turn, I'm going the wrong way, all of that kind of stuff.
Just like me. But
Cars
go
were
ahead.
not moving, and people were just hugging on each other, loving on each other. It was the greatest thing I've ever been a part of. And I've seen many championships, but that Lions' first playoff win was spectacular against the Rams. And, of course, they follow it up with Tampa Bay, and then they go on the road after that.
Bro, you do know beating L.A. is not a championship celebration.
I do know.
But
I do know. First playoff win in the Super Bowl era in the city of Detroit.
Still not a championship.
I
though.
agree.
Understood, but to a certain extent, the way in which Detroit responded to it can be championship numbers, or maybe not the full, but maybe 35%. But here's what I would say. I would check Kansas City as a city right now. Are they cannabis friendly or not? Because the state of Michigan and the city of Detroit, cannabis friendly. That's why a lot of people get along nowadays. Everybody's smoking
you
the
might
same
be
stuff.
right.
I'm just saying.
I'm not sure if Kansas City is or not.
I guarantee
Pete,
you.
why don't you check that, or
I
JB?
guarantee you they're not.
See if KC's weed friendly. But we got the draft coming up, guys. Not long. I mean, that's as big as It's going to be as big as a parade.
I'm excited because obviously there's a lot that goes into Detroit that people don't get a chance to see. T-Foss. I mean, last year, you had Morgan Wallen shut it down here. You had Taylor Swift shut it down here. Beyonce came down here and shut it down. There's a lot of concerts. So there's a huge space. You said what?
Yes, they are.
They are?
Yep.
Okay, so that goes out the window. But there's a lot of big event space down here in Detroit. We had the Super Bowl, and it was actually a great time. It was a great Super Bowl we put on for that city. This is a chance to not only have like one event, like one concert or two concerts back-to-back nights. You're talking about ESPN, Fox, you name the network or name the corporation. They're setting up Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and so on to Sunday. So I think it's also a great chance for the city and outside sports to make some money that I think is needed.
Yeah, it's like a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it is.
Because a Super Bowl,
it's a week-long event.
They come
It always was our Super Bowl.
Right, it was.
It was.
But on the teams come in Sunday before the week before the Super Bowl,
Right.
and then you have ESPN and everything Monday, Tuesday,
Yep.
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So this is Detroit's Super Bowl, and I just think it's going to be great. Please don't shoot the place up. I don't think that's going to happen.
Hey, can we get some new acts? Like, listen, yes, we can incorporate Kid Rock into something. Yes, we know Slim Shady, a.k.a. Marshall Mathers, is going to do something. It was good to see him in both playoff games. Yes, we know Anita Baker can do something. Can we get some new energy? And I'm talking about energy doesn't have to be from Detroit. We're one of those cities where every time we do something, we try to use our own people. Maybe you bring somebody in, but is Michigan and Detroit, the state and the city or the metropolitan area, is it just a place where we just like what we like and you can't bring anybody else into it? Because what was the Thanksgiving game? Was it Jack Harlow? Yeah, people were like, who's that guy?
I still say who.
Yeah, he's young. Your daughters know who he is.
They know.
Who else you going to bring in?
Who's popular right now? Go get Usher. Like I'm not saying go get.
We try to promote our own.
We try promote our own to do what? Like, look, we need to stop
to show love to these people.
Yeah, but we need to be showing love to our city, and to show love to the city is to bring in people that everybody wants to see, that everybody can partake in, not just the guys that we love or the girls that we love or the individuals.
You don't think everybody wants to see Eminem?
No. Like, listen, I'm on them rap forums, JB. You can chime in. Like, I'm on those rap forums. Like, this is a different day and age. We love him. There's still some old school culture fans that love him, but he's not like that anymore.
Old people like him.
And I love him too.
Old people like him.
But I want people to come here and have a good time. Like, look, when I went to Houston and I went to a concert, I saw Jack Harlow and I saw Lotto and I saw some other people. I was excited to see those people. Felt good to see these people.
Tune into the Grammys.
But what I'm saying is, why can't those people come here? Like, you get excited when you see people at Lions games, right? When you see people at Pistons games, like, he was here or she was here. It's the same thing.
I get him now. He wants us to look bigger.
Yes.
How about bringing Beyonce?
That's expensive, but yes, now you in the ballpark. Yes, Justin Timberlake.
Remember back in the day, we had Mariah Carey do Thanksgiving Day.
See,
we did. That's true.
But see, we got it back then. Then we went bankrupt. Then we was like, look, man, how much you got? Like, how much you willing to spend?
Mariah Carey did one.
Getting bargain deals. I'm tired of seeing Stevie Wonder. Every time there's something big in Ford Field, Stevie's coming out there with 18 kids. Like, I want to see something new. Like, I want the rest of the country to be able to.
Speaking of that,
okay, go ahead.
Did you see the documentary with the?
Yes, the greatest night in pop history. It was electric.
There was a scene where Stevie Wonder
and Ray Charles
is showing Ray Charles how to get to the bathroom.
Oh God!
So you haven't seen this?
I haven't seen it yet.
Man,
I
want
to
watch it. It's on Netflix.
I keep forgetting.
It's an hour and 38 minutes long. I've watched it twice. That was a great scene too. That was literally the blind leading the blind.
Right.
You know what I found interesting about the whole piece, and I'm not ruining it for you if you haven't seen it. Oh, here's your one fan, Maz, on the court celebrating after one.
That looks like Ryan.
It probably is.
I didn't know Ryan liked UDM.
Like, that's Ryan cheering if JJ.
We gotta talk about that.
If JJ goes number one. But the best thing about it for me was it was the most normal and the longest amount of space that I've seen Michael Jackson in look normal. Like, he was the first one there. He was the last one to leave. Like, he was just kicking it. He was just chilling. Like, usually we see Michael, he's being like, worshipped. It was the first time. I think for all those stars in the building, like, they got a chance to be normal. Like, you're Bruce Springsteen. You're not walking the Whole Foods. You're Diana Ross or Michael Jackson or everybody in there was like the biggest of the big, and they were chill.
Now, I don't know what documentary this was, but I forget what it was. But there was one where Michael Jackson went to KFC.
Hold on, dude.
No, you got some Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Hold on, do that noise again, man.
I can't. It just comes out. I can't force it.
Now imagine going to KFC and Michael Jackson's there.
Do you remember they had to shut down the Kroger for him?
Kroger.
Well, the ShopRite or whatever the hell store he was in.
With the
he didn't know how to shop.
I know.
He didn't know how to shop.
And I want to answer both at the same time. One, like, look, I'm a tough guy. I know a lot of people. My father knew a lot of people, so I've never been one of those ones like, oh my God, it's such and such. Mike and KFC, I might faint. I just think it's a natural reaction. I don't even think I'm fainting because, oh my God, it's like, this isn't real. But going back to what you said about him being in Kroger's or SafeRite, ShopRite, having to shut it down just so he can feel normal. now people start to understand when you hear stories like that, like why Mike was the way Mike was. Like when you're not allowed to be a normal person from the age of 11, and he died at 53, if I remember correctly. Like 42 years, like you cannot be a normal person. No driver's license, no walking to Kroger, no just, walking down Woodward and going to Hunter House. Like it's none of that. Like that's gotta be like nuts.
Yeah, it is bizarre.
It makes you bizarre.
Yeah, and that's why he did all the things he did. He was
Allegedly.
Well, that part is different.
Allegedly.
But I would say he was just a weird dude.
Yeah.
They had a wacky childhood.
Yeah.
Big Joe Jackson did his thing.
But Joe loved him though.
Yeah.
We all wanted to be
middle name is
Michael
Joseph.
Jackson. But when you got older, you're like, nah, I'm good. I don't want to be Michael
Maybe Jermaine.
Jackson.
No, they hated Jermaine. Like Jermaine hated Michael because he couldn't be Michael, and then his dad didn't necessarily rock with him because he only rocked with Michael. So I ain't trying to be Jermaine. Jermaine's still talking stuff.
Really?
Do you know, JB? And we're gonna take a break on this one. JB, do you know that Jermaine Jackson made a diss R&B song about Michael back in this is when they left to go to Sony, and he stayed because he was married to Berry Gordy's daughter. He made a diss song, and Michael bought all the songs, so it never got out, and he never looked back. I promise you, I've heard it. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having that much hate in your heart? You gotta put a diss song on your own brother, who's the most popular person in the world. That family was they were touched.
Sounds like Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And with that note, we're gonna take a break. First, a message from Big Boy. Time Masaway, take it away.
Big Boy. Okay, you guys just do it.
You need to tell me what it is.
Just do what you want, guys.
These have been off the last 2 days. Okay.
We're gonna try. Oh, it's a long story. Trust me.
I feel you. And that's what I'm saying. You just tell me what. I'll take the lead from you.
Live reach is just
I
a
still love you,
suggestion.
Bray. You know that, baby. Anyway, I need your help on this one, Bray, because you want to know what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years. You expand and offer more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. The same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford Chevrolet.
Together, let's drive.
That is correct. And after you get that brand new car, you guys are going to need to go to Swiss Insurance, because at Swiss Insurance, you can get both home and auto insurance. Once I switch it over, there we go. Yeah, that's right. You can shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com or call 248-800-4177.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on homestyle goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only a Big Boy.
To Ermanni Networks with Maz. Like I said, Ryan Ermanni won't be joining us today, but we got the main man, Terry Foster, in the building, having a great time. And now we are joined by the voice of the Detroit Tigers, our main man, Dan Dickerson, to talk about the Detroit Tigers. Dan, how you doing?
Hey, Dan.
I'm great. How you guys doing?
Good, man.
Hang in there, man. We're in the cold up here, bro, while you hanging out in the warm weather.
No, I'm not. I'm up in Clarkston.
Oh, never mind.
He's going next week.
There, too.
Next week, right, Dan?
Yeah, broadcasters don't report for like a week after pitchers and catchers.
Good. Oh, good.
I thought you had to go down there and look everybody over.
Well, they usually I let the beat writers write the best shape of their life stories, and then I come down and double check it, and make sure
Absolutely,
that they're actually
Hey,
in
Dan,
the best shape of their
Dan, before I turn it over to the big guy, Maz, and we talk a little bit about the Tigers and what they're going to do this year, I always have to tell you this story. I was in the car when Miggy hit the 3,000 hit, man, so I got a chance to hear you and all your greatness, man. There's a reason why two Dans, man. Look, Dan, our guy, you are the man. It was an enjoyable experience on the ears. It was very good, and just to remind you, sometimes you got to be in the car. Sometimes you got to get away from the TV and listen to the real essence of sports. Dan, I appreciate that call. It was a great one. Tom, I'll let you take it away.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. That was quite a moment, wasn't it?
Hey, man,
sure was.
I'm getting goosebumps right now just thinking about the moment and listening to it. It was great. Yeah, it was a great moment.
All right, Danny. It's 40 years for the last World Series. Okay? We're going to talk about 1984.
At least we got 3.
Once again. Here we go, man. Give me something that I'm going to look forward to here in this upcoming season. What can I look forward to in my Tigers?
Well, I think, and you bring up 84, and it's a comparison I've been making in recent days just because I think this is the first time that the Tigers have built the core of what I think will be a championship team in the years ahead with guys they've drafted and developed probably since 1984. I mean, you've Green, Torkelson, Carpenter, Parker Meadows last year. Jake Rogers was not drafted by the Tigers, but certainly developed, I think, under the Tigers. You're going to have Jay Sean. You're going to have Colt Keith. I mean, you're going to have 6 or 7 guys in this lineup who were drafted and developed all in the last 3-4 years, and I think that's pretty impressive. And I think it speaks to some of the drafts that Al Avila had, but also to the draft last year that the Tigers had, and what Scott Harris has done in terms of building that development system, because it's all about how you make your own guys better. So I like the core. I like what they're building. To me, this year, with what the moves they've made in the offseason, they're going to try to get from, let's call it 78 wins to 88. I think 88 can win this division.
Wow.
Might be 90. But the way you get to 88 from 78, that's the biggest jump you have to make. It's easy to go, to me, from 66 to 78, but now this is a big jump. And they're going to try to do it with pitching and defense, and I think that is the quickest way to do it. When your offense was 3rd worst last year, it's going to have growing pains. It's going to be better, but with a lot of young hitters are going to be growing pains. So I like the way he's going about it. It's kind of been the Cleveland model in recent years. Not great offenses, but you win with pitching and defense. And every year under Terry Francona, the Guardians were good at that. And you look at the teams that had 87, 88, and up win totals last year, all top 5 in run prevention.
You know, one thing that seems with the Tigers, they have like 400 pitchers ready to compete, right? But and the theory behind that is, well, you know, you have some people who are going to be great hitters, but they're young now, so you're just trying to stay in the game and see how things shake out.
Yeah, starting rotation was number 1 in the American League in the second half last year. I didn't even realize that until the other day. Now, that was led by Reese Olson and Tarek Skubal. Eduardo Rodriguez was part of that, too. He's gone, but I think Ken Samaeda will fill in very nicely for him. I'm very intrigued by Jack Flaherty. Very hittable the last 2 years, but he's healthy now. He was one of the top pitchers in the National League, and he's only 28 as recently as 2019. So that was a great guy to take a one-year stab at. But if he gets back to anywhere near where he was 4 or 5 years ago, you've got at age 28 a pretty nice piece in the rotation. Skubal was as good as they get down the stretch. Reese Olson quietly had a great 20-start rookie season last year. And the thing that impressed me, he's a kind of a slight frame, and that's not. I mean, that's his build. But he got stronger as the season went on. He knew he had to, but he held that 95-mile-an-hour fastball velocity all year. I was really impressed by that. And his finish was comparable to Skubal's in terms of his last 30, 35 innings. So, yes, I think the rotation is going to be a top-5 rotation this year. And then the bullpen has a couple question marks, but I think they've got some arms. When you had Shelby Miller and you had Andrew Chapin, who was terrific 2 years ago, you've got some pieces for A.J. Hinch. Give him some arms and look out. He'll get the most out of it.
Dan, before the two older guys take over and has all the right questions, let me show a little bit of baseball knowledge in here about the Detroit Tigers. I want to talk about one player that obviously everybody wants to talk about, and that's the return of Casey Mize. How is that going to happen? When's it going to be in play? And then also I want to talk about the contract of Colton Keith. Talking about that contract now. He got paid a lot for a guy that hasn't seen the majors yet. What do you think about those two situations? Talking about Casey Mize first and then Colton Keith's contract second.
Yeah, so Casey Mize, I think you're going to hear a lot as the season progresses about, what are the innings limits? Is he going to be on some kind of a limit this year? Because he missed all of last year, obviously, half the year before. And I think that's going to be something that the Tigers are going to just very much take on an individual by individual basis. Because there'll be questions about Matt Manning in terms of how much do you increase the innings? The old formula of increase it by 25%, that's gone. Because they're measuring everything now, and they're going to have a much better handle on when guys might be headed toward injury, when they need a break, when they might have to go on the IL, but they're going to prevent injuries. So I think there's no limits on Casey Mize. I think a reasonable contribution would be 150 to 160 innings. I think they will let him do that. And I don't know, Braylon, I watched the bullpen last August, and it was really it was eye-opening. We went out in left field and watched his bullpen. He's throwing 95. That's hard to do in a bullpen. You need that game action to provide those last few miles an hour. He was throwing gas, and he threw like 50 pitches without taking a break. And the splitter was good. Now, he had a little setback in the fall. That's not unusual coming back from Tommy John. I think he's going to be an impact arm in the rotation.
Wow.
As for Colt Keith, this is what good teams do. It's like identify the future stars, believe in your evaluation. This is not something you do lightly, and then lock them up before, even if they've never had a major league at bat. Yeah. This is what the good teams do. So this is what we hired Scott Harris to do. Have a good evaluation. They're really hard on their minor league. A.J. Hinch is really hard when guys are coming up from the minor leagues. It's like, he always sees the flaws. He was speaking so highly of Colt Keith last midsummer. It's like, this kid's going to come up and hit for average and power. I'm like, oh, if he's saying that, then he really thinks highly of this kid. So it's one of the more intriguing prospects in decades in terms of just a pure hitter who can hit for average and power. I can't wait to see what he does.
All right, keep the injury talk going, Dan. What can we get out of Riley Green this year?
I knew that was coming.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I look at his injuries. People say he's injury prone, but I'm like, okay, one was a foul off his foot in 2022. One was diving for a ball and Tommy John surgery. I've never seen that before. So let's say this is not a, Giancarlo Stanton issue where it's soft tissue, where it's calf muscles and, pulling muscles all the time. I think 2 of the 3 most recent injuries have been flukes. So let's say he stays healthy, and I like his chances of getting, let's call it 500-plus plate appearances. I always go back to a stretch when he kind of, from early part of the season, right up until mid-August, Tommy, he put together a 240 trips to the plate, 240 plate appearances where he hit 347 with a 580 slug.
Wow.
That's not just 50 at-bats. That's over 200 of great consistency, average and power. There aren't many guys on the Tiger roster in the last 20, 30 years, not named Miguel Cabrera, who have done that. So that, to me, represents the upside. Now let's see if he can stay healthy. I think he will. I really do.
All right, Dan, here we go. Another bad start they cannot do. 10-17 last year. And Terry laughed earlier today. I brought up the '84 Tigers because that's really the start of the century when the way they started '84, and obviously they finished out okay, and of course won the World Series after that. What can this team do to get off to a good start? They get the White Sox and the A's to start it off.
Yeah, I guarantee you AJ is going to be asked about that a ton, and he'll just say, he's not going to go there because it's like, what if you don't get off to a good start? But he will, I'm sure, address it with his players. I think what he's so good at, and that's why he doesn't want to talk about what are the expectations. Is the goal to win the Central? It's like we have to. I think his point is, without saying it this directly, you know what? We have to be above 500 before we're going to be in the conversation. They didn't play a game above 500 all of last year. Nice finish, and there's lots of reasons to believe they're going to be above 500. But I think his challenge is to the players, instead of thinking, okay, our goal is to win the Central, our goal is to be much better on a consistent day-to-day basis than we were last year. We won 78. It was a nice improvement. But guys, if we're talking about winning the Central, then we have to make sure that the effort day-to-day is going to be at an even higher level than it was a year ago. We have to be better. So I think that's how he'll handle it, because I just don't think there's much value for any manager to say, hey, we have to get off to a good start. That's obvious.
Yeah, of course.
Dan I may have another question for you. You talk about Spencer Torkelson, what he did last year. He took that jump, 31 home runs, 141 hits, 233 batting average. It doesn't scare me because I watched Kyle Schwarber be that for the last 10 years, and he's damn good at what he does for the Phillies. So not worried about that. Where's his trajectory right now for you? He took a major leap last year. Can this next leap be the one that projects him into maybe MVP type contention?
Yeah, I don't know about MVP, but I mean, could he be a 40 home run guy?
Yes.
And I think so. You always think about with young hitters, it's rarely, the chances that Torkelson, Green, Carpenter are all going to be better this year based on history is the odds are against that. I hope they all are better. There's probably going to be a step back for one of those three guys, if not two. But Torkelson's already had his step back when he had to go back to the minor leagues in 2022. Had a slow start last year, big finish starting really toward the end of June. And that was a big finish. And I love you mentioning the batting average, because it's always a good reminder when A.J. Hinch was talking about Jake Rogers, low batting average, but 20 home runs. He's like, he's doing what we asked him to do,
100.
Which is, what's your strength? You can attack fastballs and you can hit home runs. So take your shot. And that's kind of the thing with Spencer Torkelson and why he may never hit quote-unquote for average. I think he can hit 250, 260, but drawing a lot of walks, hitting with power, because they want him to take his shot. And this is why you're here, to hit with power. And so you're going to live with that, because I think he's going to be very productive. I think he'll hit 30-plus again. I mean, if you drop back to 27, is that a bad year? No. But I really believe he's already had his kind of setback, and I think he learned a lot down the stretch last year about when to take his shot. And I just feel like 31 is the starting point.
The last 2 years I've talked to some of the younger guys on the Tigers, and they always brought up the importance of Miguel Cabrera, not as a hitter, but as a sort of a mentor. He would give batting instructions on the team playing. He settled them down, that they felt last year, so that they had a better ending to the season. With him gone, who is that guy now that can spread the knowledge to the young team, or young guys?
I think Mark Canha is certainly going to be an impact. And it's, you look at his track record, it's kind of, he's above average. He's solid. And you know what? There's great value in that, with what you just talked about, that passing on of knowledge that he's accumulated through all his years in the big leagues. But then it becomes like, all right, who's the core of this team in terms of that presence in the clubhouse? And talking to Spencer Torkelson toward the end of last year, Terry, and he was talking about how Miguel, because Miguel had been very complimentary of him really since he'd been called up. I mean, without even being asked, he talked about how, he said, do you guys realize how good this guy is? I'll never forget that. And so I asked him about that, and he said, yeah, and he said he's encouraged us, meaning Riley Green and Matt Vierling and Kerry Carpenter, to, show your personality more in the clubhouse. This is going to be your clubhouse down the road. And I think that was really important for them to hear. Now, it wasn't easy to do when the big guy is still over there in the corner. That was a looming presence in the clubhouse. But toward the end of the year, more and more, I think that happened. We don't know everything that goes on behind closed doors, but I think it did. I remember Matt Vierling saying in September, he said, a bunch of us just stayed after the game last night and kind of shooting the breeze after the game. And he said, we realized we've got 3, 4, 5, as he put it, glue guys on this team. And that's not a small thing. Those are the guys who are going to lead by example, lead by that, encouraging word to a teammate. lead by how they play on the field every day and the effort they bring every day. So I think it's going to be a group. You can't replace that big a personality, but they've got the guys who can do it.
Dan, I guess I lied 2 times. I do have one more question.
He's a liar.
I'm not a liar, man. I just, look, I'm excited. Baseball was my first love. Maz knows that. I played down in Georgia. Georgia was huge with baseball, and that's why I really got into it. 6 years old.
Oh, my gosh.
Man, 100%. I still remember the name of the park, man. It was Brownsville County Park. But just thinking about teams that have made the turn, you look at the Orioles 2 years ago, and you look at the Texas Rangers last year. What is it going to take? I think Scott Harris is a major part of that, recognizing talent early and paying it. What is it going to take for the Lions to turn that corner, much like these organizations that are figuring it out in relatively fast?
Yeah, figuring it out, and again, it's the type of. That's why Scott Harris to me is so good. He's, and thanks, to he's got an owner in Chris Ilitch who will spend the money, and it's millions on all the infrastructure, down below. But that's the coaching staff, that's the training staff, and that's better coordination between strength and conditioning, training staff, coaching, so that you're keeping guys healthier and training them better. So to turn the corner, I like that you brought up the Lions, because I keep thinking about this. If I'm a Tiger and I look at that, and they know, even watching from afar, what that team did for this city, this state, and how it just took over, right? They want to feel a little bit of that. They got a taste of it with Miggy's last weekend and the big crowd. And I think they realize, what, we get off to any kind of a good start. Those 30,000 plus is going to be a regular feature all summer long, and it might start in May, not June or July. So I think they want to feel that feeling. They want to deliver that for the city. So what does it take? I think it's the addition, the pitching and defense equation to me is big. And that, I think, gives a little bit of comfort to hitters. I would love to see another veteran bat added to this lineup. I know that's probably unlikely because they have to find out about these young guys. But those guys take a little bit of the pressure off the young kids. But I think that if you've got pitching and defense, now you're like, all right, these guys are so good on the mound. We've got to play better defense. We've got to play our best defense. And they know that every day they've got a chance to go out and win that game. There were many games. I'm just kind of looking over last season. Many games. There was a stretch, I don't know, it was maybe July or August, and they were just having a hard time getting a good start. The staff was getting worn down a little bit. And it sucks the life out of an offense. When you've got good pitching, it makes for better defense, and it also has an impact on the offense. So I'm looking for pitching and defense to start. I think it's going to be a top 5 pitching staff, and that's how the turnaround begins, because it allows those hitters to kind of relax and produce.
And I wanted to ask you about some of the rule changes that we're going to be looking for. I think they've redone the pitch clock again. The bases are larger. I think the base paths are different now. Is it shorter? Fill me in on a little bit of this, if you don't mind, if you're up for it.
Yeah, the bases are like 4 feet now, 4 feet by 4 feet, so it's only like 80 feet in between.
That's it. Okay, good. That's going to be a lot easier to slide into those huge pillows.
I think so the 2 seconds off the clock with men on base, I don't get it. It's like, you know what? It really did work pretty darn well last year, guys.
It did.
So anyway, okay, whatever. It's 2 seconds less. But they did address something that AJ it's just been a thorn in his side for years, and that's the whole idea of that runner from home plate running down the first baseline. The natural path from the right-handed batter's box is fair territory, and then you've got to run into foul territory, and then you've got to come back to fair territory. It just drives AJ nuts when the throw hits the runner and the runner gets called out, or when the Tigers hit the runner, the runner's called safe because they threw it. It hasn't worked either way. But it makes no sense that the direct path is from home to first is to run in fair territory. And the rule is unevenly applied. Yeah. And I think they have now addressed it to where, and I have to go back and read it, but at least they've tried to address the reality of the situation instead of saying that the correct path is run in fair territory, please veer over to foul territory, and then come back to the bag, which is in fair territory. It makes no sense. So they're trying to address it, but it really is a very subjective call.
You should just be running in foul territory from the right side of the plate. Isn't that easier?
Tommy, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You finish your swing, you're 3 feet in the fair territory.
Exactly. I don't
so
get
I'm saying
it.
You should
it
be
is
able
what
to
it
run
is.
in fair territory.
Absolutely. Hey, 2 players before we let you go. Parker Meadows in center field, I think is going to be immense.
Good call,
and
Miles.
what are we going to get out of Javi Baez? What do you really think?
Strikeouts.
What we get out of him going forward?
2 good questions. I'll start with Parker Meadows. 6 weeks with the Tigers, and I watched Austin Jackson, who I think is the best center fielder we have had in my 20-plus years in the booth.
You're right.
And I think Parker Meadows is going to be better. And that's no knock on Austin Jackson, who is really, really good. I just think I was so impressed with his jumps, the ground he covered, how he just patrolled the biggest center field in baseball with what looks like ease. I know there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, but he's special. That's Gold Glove caliber in center field. So really, almost, if you look at Kevin Kiermaier's career, and he's been off the charts good for long, long time, there is no question the last 10 years there was no one even close to being that good with that consistency in center field as Kevin Kiermaier. You realize how valuable that player is because of his defense, which means if Parker Meadows has solid, even below average offense, but he can draw a walk, steal a base, and hit the occasional home run, but he's maybe a little below average offensively, the defense is going to make him an extremely valuable player. So I'm very excited about his upside. You're going to probably have some struggles with the bat, but there's something in there. Javi Baez, I honestly don't know. I mean, there's 4 years left on this contract. AJ said it going into the offseason, but there's going to be a very specific plan that kind of didn't get into details of how they want him to change his swing. It's very hard to do in season. They had the ideas in season, but he clearly couldn't do it. But he said this isn't about hard work. Javi Baez works hard, but he has to, now in his 30s, maybe a little bit different workout program to acknowledge the realities of time, and he has to make those changes in his swing. And I would also like to see more consistency in his defense. Javi Baez can make plays that simply nobody else can make in the league. He made 4 or 5 of those last year, unbelievable diving stops and throwing from his back to get a guy out in Minnesota. I mean, ridiculous. And then he'll bounce a throw to first base on a routine ground ball 6 out of 10 times. That's inexcusable.
Inexcusable.
And these are very basic things they talk about moving your feet in the direction of the target. Well, okay, Javi Baez knows how to do that. Why can't he do that more consistently? He knows it, but again, you should not have 12 to 18 throwing errors every year. He's too good for that. So what can you get back to? Can you get back to a guy who hits 260 with low walks and 20 home runs, and you're going to live with the swing and miss? You're going to live with Chase. That's who he is, but he has to do more damage in the strike zone and at least develop a little more discipline to not chase a slider that the entire ballpark knows is coming in a 2-strike.
Yeah. Easier said than done, Dan.
It's I agree. And I'm worried that once you're in your 30s and you're a low walk, high strikeout guy, even if you've trimmed your strikeouts, it's hard to change.
Hey, congratulations. Dan Dickerson is getting a bobblehead night at Comerica Park.
No way.
How about it?
No way.
How about a bobblehead night?
Well deserved there, sir.
Proud of you, man.
Can we get it signed? Can we get ours signed?
Yeah, we're trying to get ahead of the curve,
Yeah,
man.
we'll get ours signed.
We got 5 people. Ryan's not here. That's 6. And hook us up, Dan.
All right, I will. If you can get on the calendar,
we got you.
Call my people.
Oh, good.
You'll have my people call your people.
I know your people. I'll call them. I'm calling Lori.
Yeah, that's right. I know your wife. She'll hook us up.
Oh, there we go. See, the old guys are good for something.
Hey, Dan, man, have a great trip to Lakeland. We hope to get down there. It's coming, man. February 24th, or it's the 28th. The 24th against the New York Yankees.
24th is the opener against your beloved Yankees.
Oh, how about that? How about those Yankees, huh? No pitching. Again, here we go.
Don't get mad started, Dan.
Oh, God. 1,000 home runs and give up 2,000 runs the other way.
All right.
Booney says they're what is it? They're intensely focused or something.
Good.
They're gonna
love Booney. God bless us. Have a great season, Dan.
Enough for the Bronx Bombers. Hey, we appreciate
All right, guys.
Dan,
look forward to
always.
talking to you down the road.
All right, buddy. We'll catch you in Florida. Be good.
And that was Dan Dickerson, the voice of the Detroit Tigers. Isn't it crazy? I feel like we have the best 2 in the game as it relates to the NFL and as it relates to MLB, and both named
hockey too.
Dan. This is very true.
Ken Cal.
But both those guys are named Dan, so it was about the Dan on Dan, if you will.
And we can't go over Mark Champion. We got Mark Champion.
Well, Mark's my guy. So here's
Mark.
a quick story about Mark before we go to break. I went to broadcast boot camp through the NFL. I went up there. It's in Pennsylvania. NFL Films up there, so I got a chance to meet Steve Sable. Maz, I know you would love that. I know you would love sitting there. And his film room, his film room is a vault. Like, you walk, and it's all organized, but you walk in there, you think you're walking into, like, every movie ever made.
How about that?
In the history of cinema, but great time up there. But Mark Champion was the guy that you work with when you're doing the color. So, like, when you got to the color part of the broadcast boot camp, did the color, Mark Champion, I said, Mark. He said, Braylon Edwards, how you doing there, buddy? I was like, oh, man, it's going to be easy. And it was a lot of fun. And
That's great.
Because I never thought about doing color, and I did that with him, and it was pretty fun. But Mark Champion, to your point, love that guy.
We love our Detroit guys.
Oh, 100%. This is our city, man. We'll fight for it. We'll defend it to the end. Look, let's get a message from Guardian Alarm, and then let's come back in, man. Also, we still have cap or no cap.
And I want to talk about
yesterday.
UDM. They broke a streak last night.
Oh,
That's
was
right.
it a
Big
good
win.
one?
It was a good streak to break. Yes.
You know what it was? It's a Detroit streak.
That's right.
And once you guys
Just
hear
get
you
it
know
in the
what it
rear
is.
view mirror. That's
First, let's get a message from the black and yellow of Guardian Alarm.
That's right. Hey, Bray, what happens when you see that black and yellow sign? What does it tell those crooks?
Stay out.
That's right. It's a new year. Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today and tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
You're out.
And
That's right. And over to JB.
Yeah, and since you've got Guardian Alarm on your side, head over to Lady Jane's right afterwards to get a haircut for an award-winning haircut experience. Register for your chance for a trip of your dreams. All expenses paid for a suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expenses spared for you and up to 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked awesome.
At Planet Fitness, you can get energy without the judgment.
Hi, can you help me with this?
You don't know how to use it?
This is better.
Join now through January 19th for just 24 cents down, $10 a month. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Join today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal extended through January 19th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Have you ever wondered where all the finest restaurants get their steaks? It's Fairway Packing Company, providing Michigan restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef for over 60 years. But now you can buy these cuts of meat for yourself at the Steak Shop by Fairway Packing Company. Prime porterhouse, A5 Japanese New York strip steak, dry aged Wagyu beef tomahawk. Delicious. Get to the Steak Shop today. Enjoy fine wine, have a private party, and get the finest cuts of meat anywhere. The Steak Shop on Mack Avenue in Grosse Pointe Woods, or order online, fairwaypacking.com.
Hey guys, it's Maz. Give your pet the best. Do not settle for less. Give them Premier Pet Supply, hands down Michigan's best pet store, family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations. They have over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. They got nutritionists to help you through any questions about your pet as well. They even have curbside delivery. Give your pet the best. Check them out at premierpetsupply.com.
Definitely a great place. We talked about it yesterday. I have been to the one on 13 Mile and Southfield Road. T, I asked you a question.
And that's where we used to get our food for Poopsie.
Oh, Poopsie.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about Poopsie? Like, it's a joke. My sister, my girl's sister refers to how I refer to her as Poopsie.
Okay.
Like, just on some goofy stuff. So Poopsie is, you freaked me out with that. I was like, where'd you know, never.
You know Jim Brandstedter's
Brandy.
It's Poopsie.
Poopsie,
Brandy's
yeah,
dog
exactly.
is Poopsie?
It is.
My mother gave him the name Poopsie.
Oh, how
That's
cute.
what she calls him.
Brandy's the best. What's the longest amount of time that you have been away from your wife, and how far was the trip?
That she went on? Or
Yeah, she
me?
went on, or you. Like, what was the time difference where you guys were
So
at?
we haven't been apart for any more than 5 days.
Yeah, like I'm doing 7 right now, and it's very interesting.
Oh, are you lonely?
You need a hug? Pause.
I mean, yeah. Like,
Here's something you shouldn't have. I like when she's gone.
But I can't say it. Yes, it's still honeymoon phase. But I like the fact that we miss each other, because I think when we get together, like, it'll be worth it, if you will.
Oh, I get you.
That's why he's taking the 21st off this week. He's taking his birthday off.
Yeah, she gets back Tuesday. 21st is Wednesday, so you know what time it is.
He's gonna be busy. He's gonna be busy.
Literally and figuratively.
Stick was busy last night.
Hey, look, man, this is a friendly show. We appreciate the responsibility of Fox 2. We appreciate you guys. Tune in on the Fox 2 app or fox2.com. Cap. No cap. We're going to bring it back.
Yes, I played this once
now,
before.
are you familiar with the rules?
I
cap
wrote them down.
means lie.
Right.
No cap means true. We love this game. We got the big cap, no cap hat. Put it on there. I don't mess the do up. You know, the do is fire right now.
Let Terry wear it.
Start the game.
Don't bother his head.
Yeah, he needs it. Now you go. Actually, you could be the cap, no cap guy.
Okay.
All right. Put it off. There we go. So whatever you decide, you wear the hat. So if it's no cap, then obviously you'll take the hat off. All right, we'll do the first one. We did it. It's an easy one. We've been talking about it. The Super Bowl just ended. I myself don't think you have to get the 7 rings when I see what Patrick Mahomes has done, but everybody's different. Cap or no cap, Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback of all time. Right now, currently constructed after 7 seasons, 6 of them starting. Terry, I start with you. Is that a lie or is that a truth?
That is cap.
So you're perfect. You still have the hat on. What will it take in your estimation for him to, because this is my thing. If 7 rings, like, okay, with Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan got to 3-peat, and they said he was the greatest of all time. Hadn't had more rings than Magic, Kareem, nor Bill Russell, but they had already considered him the best of all time or the greatest of all time. What is it going to take for you, for Patrick Mahomes, to get to that last level?
I think I need 3 or 4 more years of him taking over games like Michael Jordan did.
Okay.
I mean,
very fair.
Even when Kansas City was losing, I knew he was going to get the ball one more time, and I knew he was going to pull him through.
Sounds like
so
a goat to me.
I just need to see a little bit more, and then can't forget Tom Brady had a fabulous career.
Two fabulous careers.
Right.
2000 to 2011, and then 2012 to 2021. I agree with you 100%.
Right. So I mean, I need to see a little bit more before I put someone ahead of Tom Brady.
Who's the better Tom Brady? Is it Tom Brady 2000, 2011, or is it 2012, 2021? Just a quick question, because they've been asking that question, man, about Kobe. Is it 8 or is it 24? Is it 12 or is it 12 plus? I think you like that. It was 12 plus years.
It was up to 12.
Okay.
Because I thought I saw some slippage those final few years, and maybe you could say you got a little lucky sometimes. But I say the young guy. Plus, it's a young man's league.
You know what Rob Parker calls him?
The loat.
The loat.
The low. Come on.
Luckiest of all time.
Come on now, Terry. Terry, you know the guy. Tom Masway, same question. Patrick Mahomes, the greatest of all time.
I'm with Terry on this one.
You need a little bit more.
Although he's pretty damn close already. He's pretty damn close, but it's going to take more. I still got Tom and I got Joe. And there's a lot of other great quarterbacks.
Joe?
No, I do.
No,
I still got Joe.
Montana. I thought you were going to say Joe Namath.
No, Joe Namath was fantastic, but not like
okay,
this.
hold on. So look, I love Joe Montana. You know who my favorite team of all time is? It's the Oilers, and it's the Oilers. Stan played for the Oilers, and it's the 49ers.
Yep.
Joe has how many Super Bowl MVPs? He's at 3.
Sounds about right. 2 or 3.
He's got, I think, because I know Jerry has one of those. Yeah, he has 3. Jerry has 1. They're sitting right there already, man. You look at the first 3 years, like, I guess it's a fair comparison. I like it.
Let me tell you a little story about Joe Montana.
I got a Joe Montana.
San Francisco played at the Silverdome, and my job was
1994.
Yeah, 94.
I was at that game. It was Monday night.
Yeah, well, I don't know when it was, but
it was Monday night game, 94.
But anyway, I had to write a sidebar on Joe Montana being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. So I went in and talked to Jerry Rice and John Taylor, and they were like, well, what about us? He couldn't beat us if it wasn't for us. They were touting themselves about, Joe Montana is good, but he's got some damn good wide receivers.
He's got the greatest of all time. I think Randy's my favorite of all time, but Jerry's the best. John Taylor, if he doesn't make that catch, they don't beat the Bengals. And you know who gets slept on in that era? It's Roger Craig. Roger Craig was amazing. Wasn't he the first 1,000 guy?
Yeah.
And Roger Craig was amazing, man.
He was.
And he's the one, Jerry Rice gets the credit for the hill, the infamous running of the hill. What was Roger Craig's hill? He put Jerry on, broke Jerry off, he threw up, and then...
It was Walter Payton's hill before anybody's.
Sweetness Hill, he had his own hill though, didn't he? It was, here we go, he bought up Sweetness. Good old Chicago. Here we go. Brad Holmes will make... What Brad Holmes always does, he will make a trade to get closer up in the draft. Or will he stay in his position? So I guess I can't ask the question. Brad Holmes will move up in the draft this year from pick 29. What say you, Terry Foster? Cap or
I'm
no
going to say cap. I think Brad Holmes, if anything, will trade back. There will be a grouping of players that he likes when 29 comes along. And he's going to say, you know what? I'm going to get some extra capital here. I know I'm going to get
one of these guys.
Lions guy. I'm going to get one of these guys. I may as well get somebody else too. So I know there's going to be pressure on him to trade up, but Brad Holmes ignores the pressure now. I'm going to do what I want to do. That's his whole thing. I think he'll trade down.
You know what? I'm going to get JB involved on this because JB's over there having a good time on his phone. We're going to get you involved in this. JB, what say you? Does Brad Holmes make a move to move up? Yay or nay? Or cap or no cap?
That's cap. I don't think he's going to do it.
So this is the year that he finally doesn't try to make a wiggle room.
This is the year he finally does not try and jump up or do anything quite as crazy. I feel like he's going to sit here and find his hidden gems in his draft. But still, I think he's going to explore free agency a lot more than we expect this year. So we're probably not going to get that all-star Daniil Hunter type of player, but we're going to get someone just at that same caliber.
Hey JB, that might be like the coldest take I think you've ever had. Because you stood on that, you were ready for that. We said, actually, I don't think that he's going to make a move. I think that he's going to. I like that, JB.
Appreciate that. JB is smooth, man.
I see, man, 100%. Also, he's in Caesars, getting them Caesars bets up. Oh yeah, JB smooth. That was a little joke, you know. Tom Masaway, same thing to you. Brad Holmes, that's your guy. He's done an excellent job. You love Jahmyr Gibbs, you love Sam Laporta, you love Brian Branch, Penei Sewell, the whole 9 yards. Does he move up this year again, or does he do like he did first year and just take Penei Sewell?
Where's the draft?
It is in Detroit.
It's in Detroit.
It's no cap. He's moving up.
There we go.
He's making
That's
noise.
What I was looking for.
He ain't moving out of the first round, Terry. No way, no how, as Rob would say. He is moving up, and he will have an extra pick as well. He's going to do something to shake something up. He's going to get the player that we don't think any the Lions could get. He's going to see his guy out there. He's going to see his cornerback. He's going to see his defensive tackle out there. He's going to see the linebacker, and he's going to move and take that player. No cap.
You almost have a conspiracy theory. You can't have a draft in Detroit and Detroit not pick a player.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, like, and I actually agree with Maz. Like, I guess this could be a metaphor. This could be an analogy or a simile. Maz, where did Mike jump from the free throw line? Wasn't it in Chicago?
I don't remember.
When Mike jumped from the free throw line, I believe this.
I know Julius Erving did.
Yeah, he did it first, but it was like lazy and it wasn't all the way full. It wasn't full free throw line. It was
lazy.
Yeah,
it wasn't lazy, man. The throw slowed him down.
First of all, it's not slowed him down. He looked cool. I never said it didn't look cool. Julius Erving is 6'8", 6'9", long arms, and he jumped and he just leaned forward and he dunked it, and it was all right. His foot was a little over the line. Mike just jumped. First of all, I've stood next to Mike. He's not 6'6", uncontrary to popular belief. He's not 6'6", he's about 6'5", even. He jumped from the free throw line, pumped it, pause, and then dunked it.
They make him different, man. They made him different for him.
Let's not hate on anybody.
No.
Dr. J, first one, he did it in the 70s, the ABA All-Star game.
Guy.
I do remember he did it in the blue jersey
he
and a knee brace, if I'm not mistaken. But I say this to say this.
I have my ABA ball at home with Julius Erving's
look, and you can keep it at home. Look,
just
I say that to say this. You're right, Mavs. That's what I was saying. Like, when something is in your city, like, remember they do with the All-Star games? Like, yo, it's your city. You get to show out. We want you to be MVP. I think it's the same thing. Like, Brad Holmes is known for what? He's known for aggressive moves in the draft. Jamison Williams was 20 moves up. The move that he did last year to get Jahmyr Gibbs. Who the heck thought you would get Jahmyr Gibbs at pick 12, much like Jamison Williams? I think I agree with Maz, T. Like, it's a no cap. He's gonna do something that people talk about. Now, if that's a good thing or not, that remains to be talked about, but I think he moves up.
That is true, but there's always a bunch of guys who are first round guys that slip to the first 10 spots of the second round. I think he's going shopping. He's going to get something extra. I mean, there's been guys like that, so it can go either way.
I agree.
I can get it.
That was the phone. I like that one. Here you go. We just talked to the voice of the Tigers, and that was Dan Dickerson. We're talking about them, talking about 78 to 88 is the biggest jump. So, Maz, I'll start with you on this one. Tigers will not only make the postseason. Oof. Yeah, you see where I'm going. Tigers will win the division. That has been an interesting division. They had a chance to win it last year, and even the year before that, they weren't necessarily too far out when you're looking at June. Tigers win the Central this year. Tom Maslow.
They went 35-17 against the Central last season. There's no reason that they can't do that again this year. And this time, with better players and a team that's seasoned, they will win the AL Central this year.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Tom Maslow, I knew you were.
We're going to have playoff baseball.
Peace Buyback, I'm dangerous to even ask you this question to come that way, but I will, because I trust in you.
I appreciate you, brother.
Peace Buyback, what say you? The Detroit Tigers will win the Central Division this year.
Well, they are improved. Their pitching's improved. Their hitting's improved. But the only problem is, can you take down the Twins, who have been a thorn in your side for the past 3 seasons? I don't know about that. The White Sox are looking okay if they make a few more moves. I think it's a cap.
Oh, so the Tigers won't do it.
I don't think they're gonna do it this year, but they're 1 year away. They're really close. You just got to beat the Twins, man.
You know what? You're a Debbie Downer, just like that bagel I saw you eating a week ago.
You don't like my depressing bagels?
You didn't think I was gonna come back to that? Hey, ladies and gentlemen, it was the driest, Terry. This bagel was so dry. I said, after I looked at the bagel, I said, brother, you all right, man? You need a hug. Cause you make a bagel, you like some cream cheese on there, you get it toasted, you put the butter on there, maybe some prosciutto, like you put something on
He must not live in Oakland County.
It was a bagel. Like Terry, like bagel. That's what bagel.
That's why he's all blocked up.
Bagel. Thank you. That's why you gotta get some.
You need some raisins or something.
He's all blocked up.
Bagel
he is. Blocked.
Raisins.
Oh my God! All right, we enough of Pete. Man.
Gotta go to Terry now.
That's what I'm about to say. What say you, Detroit Tigers? We talked to Dan Dickerson. You guys got into a little bit of the conversation. Look, the Tigers are a much improved team. You see Sky Harris making the type of decisions that championship teams do. Winning the division, yay or nay?
I'm gonna say nay.
Shocking.
So you got your cap on.
Got it right.
Your cap has never come off.
It hasn't come off. But I just think they're too young as far as the hitting is concerned. But I agree with Dan Dickerson. This nucleus is going to be a championship nucleus one day over the rainbow. It's not going to be this year though.
All right.
Ooh.
Listen, UMP Spivak, you try to poo-poo on me and Maz's parade, but I'm going to double down. Pause. With my guy Tom Mazaway on that, Tom, I agree with you. I think the fact that what you've seen, it's about the right hire. What have we seen in Detroit? The right hire was Brad Holmes.
Yep.
The right hire is Steve Eisman. The right hire is Scott Harris. I think this is the year the Wings. Them too. They're coming up next.
Just don't talk about the Pistons.
What? Not one Pistons question on here. Like,
I was gonna say about hiring, about good hiring.
Yeah, because they don't know how to hire time goers. Anyway, enough of that. But yes, I agree with you. I think this is, you're seeing championship town kind of come around a little bit. So I like the Tigers to win the division. Plus, they almost had a chance to win last year, and this was a bunch of injuries. So I like it. Same people in that division. The Wings will make the postseason. I had to double right back. Wings will make the postseason. What say you, Terry Foster?
Finally.
There we go. I got it.
I like this Wings team. Now, this is coming off of a dreadful performance against Edmonton, but Edmonton is kicking
it's Connor McDavid and it's Kenny Holland.
So, they'll get the Lions is in goal. He'll get himself back together. I just think they are coming into form now. They're healthy. We never know how long that's going to last. But I like the way they play. Defense is a little goofy, but I don't look at the Wings and say they play bad defense.
Yeah.
They put themselves in bad positions because I think they're thinking offense too much. But I have to think that Newsy at some point is going to say, hey, fellas, we know you can score, but let's focus a little bit on not giving up odd man rushes. That's been, to me, their major problem this year. He'll address it. They'll find it. They're making the playoffs. And, and I heard some, well, what if they finish 8th and have to play Boston in the first round? Boston has already proven they choke.
Yeah, choke artists, 100%. 100%.
We've already beaten Boston a couple times this year.
Baby boy. Regular season doesn't count.
I know that.
Just letting you know.
I know.
You got to tell Kyle Shanahan that.
Okay.
I say no cap as well. Red Wings will make the playoffs.
Yeah, look, man.
Easy.
You can call me a Detroit homer, which I've never been. Yeah, you know me. Outside of the Wings, Wings, Pistons, and Tigers. But I've always been honest. I'm buying into the Kool-Aid. I saw what the Lions did. I paid attention to the Iser plan because of the guy that sits in that very seat, D-Mac, Big D Energy. Shout out to 11-1 with Neil Rule. I just seen what they're doing, and I like it. I'm going to go with the Red Wings make the postseason. They're like literally right in third or right outside of third now. So, boom, going there. How about this? Here's one for you, T. We've been talking a lot of first pick in the draft.
Back on?
Yeah, put that back on. All right. First pick in the draft this year, as well as the 9th pick, belongs to the Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams is the best quarterback in the draft. At least that's what the stats say. That's what majority of the professionals think. Will the Bears draft Caleb Williams, or will they stay with Justin Fields and try to work the 1st and 9th pick?
Well, that's not a cap or no cap. You're asking me either or.
Right, my apologies. Bears will draft Caleb Williams.
I'm going to say...
Oh, this is a good one. That's
cap.
Oh.
I think, and this is just me, and I think Justin Fields is going to be a very good quarterback in this league.
Yeah, not with the Bears.
Well, maybe not with the Bears' current coaching staff, but I'd have to think at some point they'll get the right coaching staff and they'll say, you know what, we're the screw-ups. We're going to keep this guy and turn him into something. So I think they will not pick Caleb Williams. They're going to stick with Justin Fields, and it's going to work out.
Now, before I go to Maz, if you were Ryan Poles, the GM for the Chicago Bears, is this what you would do? Oh, see, that's a different question.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
You would?
I have faith in him.
Okay, I like it.
I don't have faith in the Bears coaching, but that's another thing.
But you have faith in Justin Fields.
If he got the right guy,
okay,
he could be the guy.
I respect that.
Eric Kramer is still the all-time leading passer for one season.
Which is why you know what my answer
is. In Chicago.
Yeah, which you know why my answer is draft Caleb Williams. And the reason why is T-Foss, I understand everything you said. He's had 3 different offensive coordinators. He had 2 different head coaches. They can't seem to get it together. They turned him to a running quarterback. Then they took him away from running. I understand all that. But in all that space, in 4 years, because this is year 5, I haven't seen a guy that I believe in. Because you're trying to win championships. Even though Chicago Bears are only known for 1, contrary to popular belief, you think they have 5 because how they hold on to the 85 championship or Super Bowl. But you haven't got it right in 40 years. And now you have another opportunity to draft one of those guys. Like, Justin Fields hasn't shown me enough to where I believe he can win 2 playoff games. Like, if you haven't shown me you can win 2 playoff games, like, I don't need everything to be perfect. I still can see through the cracks. I just don't see a guy that can win 2 playoff games in the NFL. I see a guy that's electric. I see a guy that can have some fun. I see a guy that can win some games, but 2 playoff games, like, it goes to Super Bowl. I don't even see a guy that can win 2 playoff games.
Maybe there's something wrong with the sauce in Chicago. And this guy wasn't a great guy, but it failed with Mitch Trubisky.
Yep.
It failed with
moved up to get Mitch Trubisky.
Could be Justin Fields could be a failure. Who's to say Caleb Williams wouldn't be a failure in Chicago?
But here's the question that we've been posing, Mads. Tell me if I'm wrong. How many times have you gotten it wrong in Chicago? You could have had Lamar Jackson. You could have had Patrick Mahomes. You could have had insert quarterback that has come out for basically the last 10 years. You could have had a good shot at this, and you didn't. Now you're passing on a guy in potential that people are saying he's the next Patrick Mahomes or he's elite past Patrick Mahomes. What if they don't draft him? What if the Commanders draft him too and then he hits? It's like another sad story in Chicago. I think it's more so about if he is the deal. You can't afford that to happen yet again, because now it's not only the front office, it's not the coach. Now it's like, all right, look, we know who you are, but y'all, like the Hallis family, like I feel like that's what's coming up next.
Possibly, but why not get an elite wide receiver like Marvin
You
Harrison
have DJ
Jr.
Moore, he's elite.
Yeah, but then you have a younger guy who's elite, who's not going to command as much money.
That's Caleb Williams.
I think Justin Fields is fine.
Okay, I like it. We'll do 2 more and we'll take a break.
No, we'll do this one to me, and then we'll take a quick break. I got to get college basketball on before we.
All right,
I got Terry here.
I'm
going to tell you what now. The Bears are not drafting Caleb Williams. They're not. You know why? Because they're going to make a trade with Washington. He is going to be a Washington Commander. That's what's going to happen on the draft. And the Bears could still get a quarterback if they want one.
At 9, last cap or no cap, 100%. I like it. I skipped the last one. Lions have a Player of the Year candidate this upcoming season. Cap or no cap?
No cap.
Obviously, there's defense and there's
no
offense.
cap.
And that
no cap.
And that player for you is
Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta. Take your pick.
I like Jahmyr over Sam.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs. I love what that kid brings.
Chance to win that.
I just think this kid is gonna rock and roll next year. This is his rookie year, for God's sake.
JB, Player of the Year, Detroit Lions, defense, offense. Do they have a player candidate potential? Cap or I guess cap or no cap? They have a Player of the Year potential.
They do, no cap. And I'm going with Sam Laporta. I like him as a tight end. Yeah. He's gold jacket loading, as the former Lucas used to say, but hey, he showed out this past season, and he's got my vote.
He showed out, but you showed me a tight end as one offensive player of the year. And
He'll be the first.
You said what?
He'll be the first.
I was about to say, I give you $1,000. I already know none of this happened. Terry, real quick, coming to you.
No cap, and it won't be Sam Laporta.
Is it Jared Goff?
No, hell no.
Is it Aiden Hutchinson?
Nope. It's on offense.
It's an easy one. Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yes.
Right.
He would be an MVP candidate. He should have been this year.
You can't be MVP when you only have 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, but he had 119 catches.
Christian, look, just to make it make sense, Christian McCaffrey had 21 touchdowns.
Okay, but you have to look at the totality of what
21
he is.
touchdowns.
He's the one that keeps
21 touchdowns.
I don't care about that. It's a running back is supposed to have more touchdowns. That got them to the Super Bowl. Okay, but it's a regular season award. You don't see what he does postseason.
No, it's no longer a regular season award.
Yes, it is.
Hear me out.
The ballots are turned in before the postseason. So how's it not one?
First of all, every award has a level of politics in it. It's the reason why they give the awards out before the Super Bowl. It's because they're watching the playoffs as well. It's just this year with Christian McCaffrey is going to win that award, and Lamar Jackson won MVP when he embarrassed the San Francisco 49ers. But it's a reason why they move those things back now. Like it's got to be some influence, T. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I already did it. I said Jahmyr.
Oh no, get the college. You want to get the basketball?
Yeah, I want to take a quick break first. We got some words from our sponsors, especially Jack Labrador, guys. You know, rock paper scissors. If you know that game, you got to know Jack Labrador. Check it out. That QR code above my head there. Check on it right now. It's jacklabrador.gg. It's a new way to play rock, paper, scissors, 2 new symbols, and a franchise-changing 3-point play. Not only that, this card comes with 110 cards and a player token. It's called the Champions Deck. It's $20 online right now. Go to jacklabrador.gg for more of the details on how to play this hot game here in Detroit. Jack Labrador.
And over to me because I got to over to me for Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness is your home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and I mean anyone, can feel comfortable and work on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you'll experience a squeaky clean gym with tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. Now, you get all of this with no commitment for only $10 a month.
Only $10?
Yes, only $10. Now, remember, no matter where you are, there is always a Planet Fitness nearby, with more than 50 in the Metro Detroit area and thousands more throughout the world. Find your local Planet Fitness today, or as always, check them out online at planetfitness.com.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new Down Home Comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The Down Home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of Down Home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
That time of the day we do the last segment. Braylon Edwards here with Terry Foster, Tom Mazaway, my man Peace Fireback, and JB over there wearing that Nike hat. Last segment of the day, Maz, we'll let you take over. Go.
All right, guys. Hey, hats off to the UDM Titans. Detroit Mercy has had a miserable season on the basketball court at Callahan Hall. They beat Huey Pooey last night, 81-66.
What is it? Indiana University, Pennsylvania University?
No, Purdue University.
Oh, Indiana University, Purdue University.
IUPUI. We just called it Huey Pooey.
Crap.
Anyway,
they were always in a tournament.
81-66. The Titans get a win. They had lost 27 straight games. They were 0-26 this year. We talked about the Pistons earlier this year, how bad they had to feel. Oh, these kids, man, they got to go to class, for crying out loud. These kids had to show their face at campus, and I'm so happy they snapped it. And you know what happened last night, Terry? They rushed the floor.
No. You can't say they, because that's plural.
He rushed the
floor.
floor.
One person
singular.
Rushed the floor at Callahan. Anyway, I know you know a lot about the history of the Titans. That had to be one that they had to kill him.
We had Spencer Haywood on the show.
This used, I mean, you young people don't. This used to be a real basketball program.
They beat Michigan. They beat Felipe Lopez. They beat some
Michigan
teams.
State 3 times in a row.
That's true.
Yeah. I went to a game
Perry
at
Watson.
Callahan. Yeah. And then Tom Izzo wouldn't play him anymore.
I went to J-Zoo. Do you know J-Zoo's right across the street? It's a middle school. Speaking of Catholic schools, yeah.
No, I went back in the day. Minnesota against the UD Titans. This was a hell of a game.
Kevin McHale.
And Michael Thompson was on Minnesota's team. That was a hell of a team. And they were fighting back and forth. Then Minnesota pulled away. I think they won by 12 or 13 points. But it was a battle. And the place was rocking. But now, when we're going through this season, I have to admit, I thought about this. Why does UDM even have a basketball program? What's the point? Nobody goes. Nobody cares. And they don't win
because they have a lot of. Is it one of those things where they have a lot of traditions, so they're trying to hang on?
You gotta play, man.
I used to go to the gift shop, like right there by the concession stands across. Like the gift shop used to be great because I love the color scheme. It was like Pistons,
red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it's Pistons.
You know what UD had an opportunity to do?
What?
Join the Big East.
Really?
And they didn't do it.
Well, they're on the horizon.
Hey, we got a lot
And they had battles.
Hey, bro, Horizon is not a real basketball league.
Oakland U's in there.
I don't care who's in it. So is Wisconsin, Milwaukee, and
I like the Horizon.
Northern Kentucky and Wright State, and all these programs you don't care about.
Those are the teams I actually care about when March Madness comes.
I tell you what, brother. I'm gonna give you tickets to go to a Michigan basketball game.
I was there 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
But the catch is...
who did you go see play?
Iowa and Michigan.
Iowa and Michigan.
Yeah.
Now, if Wright State was going to play
still
Michigan,
went.
would you have gone?
Yeah, I still would have went.
You're a liar.
No, I'm not.
Hey Terry, look, you're 92% correct with most people. Maz is
He's a special case. I forget.
Not in a bad
just go.
way.
I like going to games.
Hey, you know what we're gonna do? You guys ready for this? We're gonna end the show. Look, we had a great time on the show.
Wait, before you end it,
appreciate T-Foss.
Before you end it, should Michigan bring back Juwan Howard?
Appreciate JB. Tom Mazaway. I love you. The answer is can't talk about my brother like that. We love you guys. We appreciate the support. This is Woodward Sports Network. We are Ermanni and Edwards and Maz. We'll see you tomorrow.
Go Titans.
We'll close out. Go Titans. One win.